Good evening. Thank you so much for choosing Mwangaza Prime News and welcome to our 9 p.m. bulletin. My name is Kelvin Kariba and our sign language interpreter is none other than Laurin Wamboi. Welcome. Kenyan athletics stars received a rousing reception on Tuesday afternoon as they jetted back from the just concluded World Athletics Championship in Tokyo, Japan. Supporters, government officials and athletics Kenya leaders thronged in Jomo Kenyatta International Airport to celebrate Team Kenya triumph. Kenya clinched an impressive 11 medals, 7 gold, 2 silver and 2 bronze, finishing second overall behind the USA and topping the African continent.
Number one, we are proud of our country. Tuliinua bendera yetu nzuri kabisa.
I'm so grateful to be back at home, going to World Championship as a silver medalist, as a bronze medalist, and coming home back as a double world champ. I'm so grateful for my performance, winning back-to-back after Olympic and World Champ, being again both world record holder for both events. I'm so grateful with my performance. I think I have achieved what I wanted in my profile and my career.
I think it's a great honor because I went to the championship with the mind of maybe making it to the finals and if possible medal, but it was a great surprise, and I think this is because of the hard work that I've been doing. Behind the scenes there have been a lot of work with my coach, so yeah, I think I deserve it. Our tactics as a Kenya team was we wanted to have the podium sweep, but unfortunately it didn't happen. But our main target was to retain the title back at home. You know, Mary was going to the championship as the world champion, so our main target was to bring the glory back home. We never wanted to know who is going to bring it back home, but we wanted to retain the title back at home. Yeah.
And for us here as a government, we are committed as we receive them back to support them. They have done us proud as we had promised them. Our president promised them that any gold which they win, they will get their 3 million, the silver 2 million and bronze 1 million, and we are ready to do that.
Now let's look at politics. The competitive landscape of Mbeere North parliamentary by-election intensified as Chama cha Kazi candidate Duncan Mbui leveled serious allegations against Public Service Cabinet Secretary Geoffrey Ruku, accusing him of deploying government assets for partisan, transformed his ministerial office into a campaign tool for the United Democratic Alliance candidate UDA Leonard Muthende, neglecting his national responsibility. In the process, the candidate claimed that over the past week, the cabinet secretary activities in the constituency involving helicopters and convoys of government vehicles have been thinly veiled political events. Mbui characterized these actions as misuse of taxpayers-funded resources.
Nimpatie huyo candidate unasema ni mkali. Umefanya wale wanaume wengine wako na sifa mzuri, umewasukuma mbali, umeleta kazini yako. Your own kazi ni mheshimiwa Ruku, ndio unataka achaguliwe mbunge na wewe ni CS. Tunataka kuambia mheshimiwa rais wa Jamhuri ya Kenya, hatuwezi kuchukua hii maneno kwa urahisi. Wewe umechagua mheshimiwa Ruku awe CS wako, na pande hii nyingine naye Ruku amechagua ndugu yake ule mdogo ndio advisor wa Kindiki Kithure. Halo? Saa hii wewe mheshimiwa rais unataka kuforce watu wa Mbeere kuchukua tena kazi ni ya Ruku akuwe mbunge. Yule kazi ni mwingine wa Ruku umechukua profesa kule naye umemweka chairman wa parastato. Kwani Mbeere inatoshea kwa watu wa familia moja?
Education Cabinet Secretary Julius Ogamba has urged lecturers to return to work, stating that the government has already taken steps and deposited part of the agreed funds into their accounts. Speaking in Mombasa during a conference of heads of educational institutions, Ogamba also noted that defying the directive goes against a court order.
My predecessor
action might be taken against you. So we are asking. We have done a lot in the sector, and we've agreed that all grievances can be discussed without us going on strike, which affects our learners.
We are trying to weed out any perceived ghost students or ghost schools in our system. So we are now working very hard to ensure that we have the right data of how many schools we have in Kenya, how many learners are in which school, how many learners are in which region, and we are optimistic by the end of this week, we should have very clean data on how many students we have, how many schools we have, and that will actually affect the distribution of teachers in our country. It's going to affect significantly because we shall get very clear picture of what is going on.
And now listen to this. The Majimoto residents have raised alarm over rampant illegal sale of plots at the Majimoto Trading Center, where unsuspicious buyers are given fake title deeds. Majimoto ward member of County Assembly Daniel Kalerai, who led the residents of the county urban and physical planning offices to report the double allocation of plots, said the issue was causing tension among residents in the area. He said the land brokers had processed fake map and title deeds and were using fake documents to sell plots to the residents. The MCA called on physical planning office to visit the area and resolve the issue before it escalates to affect more people.
Sisi ndio tuliendea MCA wakati tuliona senda yetu ilikuwa imetekwa nyara na cartels. Senda yetu ilikuwa inakatwa mpaka usiku. Tunaona surveyors wamekuja usiku. Tunaona kuna watu wanapewa maplot yenye haifai ama unaweza pewa plot ya mtu. Na ndio maana yake sisi tukiwa wananchi wa Majimoto tukamuendea MCA. Kwa hivyo mimi ningependa kushukuru MCA wetu. Ningependa pia kushukuru ofisi ya county government ikiongozwa na CEO Naisho na pia Lesha na Sereti.
Tulikuja leo kwa hii ofisi sababu kulikuwa na maneno inaendelea Majimoto. Na watu wa kunyakua maploti za wale watu wamepata wakati Moriasa alipea. So ningependa tu kusema bwana kansala tumeshukuru. Najua sisi karibu tulalamike, kuna watu wamekuwa makansala bandia, wanachupela hii maploti kwa nyuma ya manyumba, lakini tunashukuru sababu umekuja kusimama na haki ya watu.
Tuko hapa leo na watu wa Majimoto, wenyeji wa Majimoto. Tuko hapa maofisi za lands za county government. Wenyeji wa Majimoto wamekuja kuuliza haki yao kuhusu plots za Majimoto ambazo kuna watapeli ambayo wameingililia plots za Majimoto, wanadanganya watu kwamba hao ndio wako na nguvu, wako na uwezo, wako na receipt ambaye ni bandia, wanasungusha kudanganyia watu. Wamekata mabarabara, wamekata public utilities, na wanadanganya watu kwa njia mbaya sana. Sasa watu wa Majimoto leo wamekasirika, wakaamua kuja kunitafuta, tukakuja kutafuta ofisa wa county government waweze kutueleza ukweli. Na leo hii tumefurahi ya kwamba waziri Sereti ambaye ni wa lands pamoja na CEO Daudi Naisho pamoja na Leshan wametupea tarehe 29 kwamba siku hiyo Jumatatu ijayo tutaenda Majimoto kufanya public participation, kwenda kueleza wenyeji wa Majimoto vile plan itaendelea ya hiyo senda.
And moving on to the next story, parents of students at Gatunguru High School in Gatundu North, Kiambu County are up in arms over the school's directive requiring each lecturer or learner, to pay 25,000 for the reconstruction of 3 dormitories gutted by fire 2 weeks ago. The incident, which left the dormitories in ashes but caused no injuries, has forced learners to remain at home for 2 weeks, disrupting studies and leaving hundreds stranded. Candidates set to sit for the Kenya Certificate of Secondary Education KCSE examination in the coming weeks have been particularly affected, with no access to teachers for the final revisions. The school board of management instructed parents to clear all outstanding fees in addition to Kenya shillings 25,000 reconstruction levy before their children can be allowed back.
Ninashangaa na nina uchungu kuona ya kwamba tumefukuzia watoto wetu kwa sababu ya 25 yenye ambaye kwa sababu shule ilichomeka. The damage itself sio wadhe 25. Kama ni wadhe tungekuja tujadili, lakini tulikuta tu tukaonyeshwa kwamba lazima kila mzazi akuje na 25. Na kama hutakuja na 25 basi hutaingia. Na ni kweli wenye ambao walikuja Tuesday, Wednesday na Thursday walikaa nje na baadaye wakarudi na watoto wao nyumbani. So tunataka kusema ni makosa kubwa kwa sababu tulikuwa supposed tuitwe kwa mkutano, tuambie 25 ni ya nini, ni wapi ambayo kumechomeka na tujadili.
Kumekuwa na janga ya moto kwenye hii shule ambayo ilifanyika kama wiki 2 zilizopita, of which paka sasa hatujaweza kujua the reason why in a cause of that fire. Na saa hii kama wazazi tumekuwa tukirudisha watoto, tunaambiwa paka tulipe a fee ya damage ya 25,000, of which ukijaribu kuangalia kama wazazi wote hakuna mtu hata anaweza hata kujikaza, kwa sababu already ulikuwa umelipa school fees na tena mtoto amechomekewa amerudi nyumbani, tena ndio huyo tena umemnunulia uniform, umemnunulia tena kiatu, umemnunulia paka mattress, na sasa tena wakati tunamrudisha kwa shule ndani tena tunarudi tunaambiwa na principal lazima tena tulipe that 25,000 ndio mtoto aweze kukua kwa shule, of which kwetu tunasema ni ngumu na ni uzito sana kwetu kama wazazi, kwa sababu hii maisha vile iko saa hii tunajaribu kujikaza sana hata tuweze kuwasomesha.
Tunaomba mwalimu tu aturuhusu watoto wetu warudi shule, juu wengine wanafanya mtihani wa form 4, wanagoja mtihani kwa muda mfupi sana na bado wako nyumbani. Kusema ukweli wa watoto hawasomi na hakuna vinyoneza device wakiwa peke yao. Tunaomba tu walimu, tunaomba tu shule ya Gatogoro Boys waruhusu watoto wetu warudi shuleni.
Even the government should look upon this, because we asked the principal, kuna insurance ya shule. Each and every government school it has to get an insurance. Insurance imefanya nini? Akatuambia tukingojea insurance ilipe tukae na watoto wetu nyumbani. And is a very arrogant teacher indeed, and is a parent too.
Wakati shule kama hii imechomeka, kuna mtu amesema hata wao ni engineers. Hata ukileta ukiambiwa wewe engineer uende ufanye your own estimate, hazikubaliki anywhere, haziwezi kubalika. Kwa sababu hata insurance ikienda kulipa italipa through this report.
And from that story we take a short break, but we'll be right back with more stories.
Unatazama Mwangaza TV, tumaini lako.
These are birth conditions whereby a child is born with a gap in the lip or in the roof of the mouth.
These are babies who are very vulnerable to get malnutrition. And so in my discuss nutrition, one of the things I discuss with these mothers is, one, monitoring them in terms of weight, in terms of height, and making sure these babies are growing well. Cleft and lip surgeries. This is going to be taking place from the 29th of September to 2nd of October. And I want to welcome all of you so that you can be able to come here and participate in the surgeries that we'll be doing for free.
We got you and you are all welcome.
Wiki jana ndani ya Life Garage.
First and foremost, I thank the Lord God Almighty, our Savior Jesus Christ. My academic paraphernalia is in my blood like a virus, flowing with sagacity, radiating with brilliance and luminance. Socrates once said, even absence costs a presence, but you are present here at Life Garage.
Ina hiyo DKD na manishanga. Kai, inakuanga na maana yake.
Diplomat, Kenya diplomat.
Kenya diplomat. Karen Efi.
Kenya Declare.
decline. Kenya dida.
Na wiki hii.
Hi, I'm Teacher Beatrice and I'll be on the garage this coming Friday with my siblings, Kemo Ditima, Pika Narage, Joy Kamata and Joseph Kamata, and of course with our host, Mihona Kenyanized.
Bwana Yesu asifiwe. Bwana Yesu asifiwe tena. Kwa majina naitwa Gertrude James. Hii Friday tukutane katika Life Courage kuanzia saa 8 na mbarikiwe.
Ana na Mihona Kenyanized, kijana mtanakoti, kila siku ya Ijumaa kuanzia saa 8 mchana hadi 11 jioni. Na marudio ni kila Jumamosi saa 3:30 usiku. Life Garage, where Jesus is made famous.
Kumbe hata unanipigia ushafika. Mko vipi?
Tuko salama kabisa.
Ndio umeingia saa hizi? Funguo ziko. Una driving license?
Niko nayo.
Hebu nione kwanza.
Mimi niko na experience ya shakameta.
Wow. Yes. Oti, fungua gate. Shuka kwanza. Leta funguo. Kwani kuuliza ulisoma wapi kuendesha gari? Umeniambia unajua kuendesha gari, aibu angalia vile ambavyo unatarisha maisha ya watumizi wengine wa barabara. Kwani wewe?
Nasuli unajua kuendesha gari. Wewe na shakameta mko hivi. Nini imefanyika?
Hebu ingia, nataka nikupeleke Jewel Institute of Advanced Driving School. Utende ufanye refresh. Kusema kwamba ujikumbushe. Hebu ingia hapo hivyo twende.
Excellence and quality driving school instructions is what Jewel Driving School offers. It gives you an experience like no other, accredited by NTSA. A driver's safety comes along with careful driving, bearing in mind other road users and pedestrians included. We offer theoretical driving classes, executive classes and refresher courses. We offer training on both manual and auto transmission vehicles, and our training are based on the new NTSA curriculum. We are located 5th floor, Jewel Complex, Ruesambu, next to TRM Thika Road. Come join us and experience a driver's confidence. Jewel Driving School. Drive with confidence.
Ukiwa na biashara yako ambayo ungependa imfikie mteja wako vyema na kwa njia sabamba, zungumza nasi kupitia 0758487904, 0758487904. Mwangaza TV ni tumaini la biashara yako.
Unatazama Mwangaza TV, tumaini lako.
Thank you so much and welcome back to our 9 p.m. bulletin. The government requires Kenya shillings 1.2 billion to compensate families whose skin were killed by wild animals in the country in the last 2 years, with the cases of human-wildlife conflict on the rise. The state has termed the rising numbers as warring with climate change and increased population blamed for the incidents. These emerged during the second Wildlife Scientific Conference in Lake Naivasha result, where over 300 scientists have converged to discuss the current status in the wildlife sector. During the conference, change in land use, infrastructural development, increased human and livestock populations and habitat loss were identified as some of the major challenges facing wildlife conservation.
The last 2 years, from July 2023 to June 2025, we recorded 26,641 incidences of human-wildlife conflict. Among them, we earned 255 lives that we lost. If we quantify that in terms of compensation, that is a whole 1.2 billion that the government has to compensate those families. That money can be put into better use if we enhance coexistence. Within the same period, Chief Guest, 725 people were injured, some extremely critical, and that was snatching the breadwinners from very needy families across the country. Within the same period, ladies and gentlemen, 9,300 farms suffered crop destruction, and that undermined food security that His Excellency the President is telling us we must assure our communities have. Within the same period, we had 5,200 incidences of livestock predations. You've seen it here. And that is destabilizing the pastoral livelihoods. And communities reported over 1,000 cases of property damage and nearly 10,000 direct threats. On the other side of the coin, we lost 911 wildlife. There were mortalities that we recorded, and those were arising from conflict, suppressing our numbers. Yet herein lies the paradox. The very wildlife heritage that sustains us is also at the middle of a growing conservation crisis. You've just seen it. The human population has surged from 8 million at independence in 1963 to 55 million people today. Farms, settlement, and infrastructure now push relentlessly into wildlife vigilance. As a result, the interface between people and wildlife has become increasingly tense.
Residents of Siaya and neighboring counties are being encouraged to take advantage of subsidized rates to explore the county's rich tourism offerings as Siaya joins the global community in celebrating International Tourism Week. Speaking to the media, Siaya County's Chief Officer for Tourism, Culture, Sport and Arts, Judith Oyugi, highlighted several key attractions available to both domestic and international visitors.
And we are very happy to announce the Tourism Week, which is happening from Wednesday to Friday of this week. So we'll be celebrating Tourism Week, and the theme for this year is tourism and sustainable transformation. So on day one, we are going to celebrate at Gotramogi, where we will have several activities taking place. We will have educational tours, we will have tourism events taking place. We'll have very many things, tree planting as a way of engaging the community. On day two, we will have a CSR event where we'll be visiting a home in Bondo Sub-County, an old people's home. We'll have a day of interacting with them, having a whole day of interaction with the old people, just so that they are a part of our community and a part of the event and celebrations. Then on the last day, which will be Friday, we will celebrate at Utonga Conservancy. We will still have all the tourism activities, educational tours, birding, a whole day of interaction, several activities taking place. So we welcome you to celebrate with us our Tourism Week, and anyone who's not able to make it to Bondo Sub-County, because this year we will be celebrating in Bondo Sub-County. Anyone who is not able to reach there, we welcome you to take part in several cultural activities within your area, like tree planting, like having a cultural education and informing our community about the different tourism sites and cultural activities.
And that is all for now. Thank you so much for choosing Mwangaza Prime News. My name is Kelvin Kariba, and our sign language interpreter is Laureen Wamboi. Me, together with the entire team behind the scenes, we wish you a lovely evening.